This is a Sunday afternoon in June, and we're in the full thrust of summer. It's relatively cool here. I'm actually in Lincolnwood, Illinois, on the corner of Pratt and Lincoln Avenue. Now, this is pretty special for me because this exact Walgreens that I'm gonna walk into, I used to work here about 37 years ago in 1987. I was 17 years old, and this is like one of my first major part-time jobs that I held while I was going to high school. And so, again, this is Lincolnwood. Even though I went to school and lived in Chicago, I worked here, which is really, really close to the Chicago limits here. So anyway, I'm gonna walk in for the first time after 37 years. It's still here. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Walgreens is one of the biggest companies headquartered out in Illinois. I think they're in Deerfield, and they're actually bigger than McDonald's. So I'm gonna take a look. This is 37 years later. I was 17 years old when I walked into this Walgreens. So let's take a look. So, wow, I mean, it looks pretty spacious. I think they definitely reconfigured the space here. I think right here used to be sort of where the managers used to be stationed. It looks like they've sort of created an open concept now. Yeah, so definitely. I'm not going to go to all the aisles, just some of them. But definitely there's a lot of changes I can see. It looks foreign to me. I think the pharmacy is still at the same location that it used to be. But the store looks a lot more spacious now. It's kind of bizarre actually coming back here, knowing that I was only 17 years old when I worked here part-time. And it was actually a pretty good job because I think it paid me something like maybe a little over $4 per hour, which is pretty generous for a 17-year-old at the time in 1987. And and I think the fun thing was that I had a lot of people that I actually met at work. They were all high school students from various areas around the neighborhood. And in fact, I've got a pretty good memory in that one of the girls that used to work here, she used to attend Good Counsel High School. She asked me she asked me to be her date for her prom, which was I guess not really common for girls to ask guys, but that happened. So I was quite flattered. So I remember the cash register was around here, but I think they reconfigured the store. This part is new. There was no photo and things like that here. Again, it's just a quick memory here, walking around here. It's really bizarre to actually walk in here. I don't know if you guys know if there's Walgreens in your areas, but obviously in the U.S., in Chicago, in the Midwest, there was a lot of Walgreens everywhere. That's probably not the case anymore. There's a lot more CVS and I think Rite-Aide. Many of those stores didn't even exist at the time. But this Walgreens was really the go-to place. So the bathroom is there, but they definitely reconfigured this area. I think where the food and drinks were, that's where I remember that was the back room. So they definitely had reconfigured it. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And there was a liquor department here as well.
Customer service needed in the dental department.
think when I was 17 years old, this place looked a lot bigger. Although it looks pretty spacious now, it just seemed like it was a lot more bigger. Really hard to believe that the store is still around. We've seen a lot of closures in retail, the retail space, but this one has survived. There was a lot more, the magazine section I remember used to be a lot more extensive, not anymore. I wonder where some of my friends are. And at the time, obviously, we didn't have internet, or none of us actually had cell phones, and so really hard to keep in touch. I suppose if I really wanted to, I could, get in touch with them, or find them somehow. But anyway, it's just really cool to be back here, memory lane here. Really amazing. Anyway, yeah, I remember that the liquor was also behind cashier as well. Anyway, it was only like just a few minute walk, but wanted to actually come in and take a quick look. I've driven past this area, numerous times, but I've been wanting to actually walk in, but finally got my chance. Anyway, that was really sentimental. It probably doesn't really mean too much to you, but for me, I worked at this place 37 years ago, and I was 17, and it's one of these very few places that are still around. So anyway, this will definitely be preserved in my mind. It's really bizarre to come back here. Oh, and by the way, Walgreens used to own a restaurant called Wags, which is sort of like IHOP, International House of Pancakes, and we got a discount there as being an employee. But it was really a great time working here. It's really fun. Life was a lot more simpler back then than it is now, but I was blessed. Anyway, thanks.